Assalamualaikum everyone, welcome back to this channel. This is me Alia Waheed. In this video we are going to start about the classification of suppositories bases. So in the previous lecture we have discussed what are suppository bases, what are the origin of them, and from how many sources they can be collected out, and what are the ideal characteristics of suppository bases. Now this lecture is very important for the paper point of view, and this topic is about the classification of suppositories basis. So it is very important question, so let's start it. So we have classify our suppositories into four groups: fatty or oily basis, water soluble basis, miscellaneous basis, and combination basis. So oily bases mean which are consist of oil or fat like materials. Water soluble bases are those which easily soluble in water. Miscellaneous bases, so they can also be called as water dispersible or water insoluble bases. And combination bases, two bases are combined like fatty and water soluble bases. If they both combine, then this is called as combination base. So let's discuss all of them. The first base is fatty or oily bases. So they can be called as fatty bases or oily bases, and the third name is oleaginous bases. So what they are composed of oil and fats, and these oil and fats are obtained from the natural source, mean from the plant or from animal. Okay, so we have two examples of them like cocoa butter, which can also be called as theoromba oil, and vegetable and hydrogenated oils. So both of them are obtained from the plant source. So let's discuss them. So the first is cocoa butter or theoromba oil. The source of this butter or oil is the plant which is called as theoromba coca. So from this plant, this butter is obtained. This butter is a oil like. Okay, so part used is the roasted or crushed seed. So seed of this plant is used, and from this seed we will crush them. We will roast these seed, and after that we will obtain with oil which is called as thrombo oil, or can also be called as cocoa butter. So what are the characteristics of it? Let's discuss it. So its color is yellowish white like. Nature is waxy, fat, or oily nature of it. Its smell or taste is like the chocolate, because coca is present in it, and if you know that from this coca the chocolate is made, so therefore its smell and taste is very similar to the chocolate. So due to its good smell or taste, it is used in the making of suppository bases. So what is actually suppository base? It is the important compound which is used for the formulation of suppositories. Okay, so actually it is the outer cover of our suppositories, so it is going to protect it. So if the outer color has a chocolate like smell or chocolate like taste, then it will be appears very delicious to that patient. But it has to be injected into your body cavity, so should not be put into the mouth, but its smell should be very pleasant to the patient. Now its melting point is very close to the natural body temperature, like 30 to 35, sorry. So our body temperature is 35, so therefore it is very close to our body temperature, and whenever we are put them into our body cavities, they will melt themselves inside the body cavities and will provide the effect on the particular area. It has many polymorphs. What are the polymorphs? These are the compounds who have same different structures but has same chemical formula. So this cocoa butter has a lot of polymorphs like beta dash form, gamma form, alpha form, beta form. So these four polymorphs it has been present. So this is the advantage of cocoa butter, that it consists of many polymorphs. So let's discuss its advantages. So let's discuss about its advantages. So it is non-toxic, non-irritant, non-reactive. Harmless to our body, should melt at 37 degrees centigrade. Lubrication is not required because it already waxy or oily in nature, so we don't need to put the lubrication in it. So it has a property of lubrication within its own self, and it consists of many polymers, which is also the good advantage of it. let's discuss its disadvantage. Rancidity is very important because if it is keeping at the long time, it can deteriorate due to the presence of bacteria, fungi, which are present in our air. So therefore they can undergo the deterioration. They can melt at summer mean high temperature. So like in summer, the temperature proceed to the 40 degrees centigrade. So they cannot bear the temperature of 40 degrees centigrade or the temperature above than the 40. So they will melt at that temperature outside the body. So this is the disadvantage. They can liquefy on combination with the drugs. There are some substances, when they add into each other, they will liquefy them means both substances which are solid in nature, when they combine they form a liquid nature. So there are some drugs who show this property. So this is its advantage. It can convert into unstable polymers. So this is also a disadvantage of it. How to prevent this advantage? Okay, so it can be prevented by these two ways. First, don't overheating. So if you don't overheating that, it cannot be converted into the unstable polymorph. And second thing to prevent it is to add stable crystals so that it should not be melt completely. So this is the disadvantage method to prevent the disadvantage. So let's discuss about the other thing, which is the vegetable or hydrogenated oils. So these are the oils which are obtained from the some plants. Like example is the coconut oil, which is obtained from the coconut, and the palm kernel oil. What is the palm kernel oil? This oil is obtained from the palm tree. Palm tree has a fruit on it. From this fruit, this oil is extracted out. So how why it is called as vegetable oil? Because it is obtaining from the natural plant source. So let's discuss its advantages. So it is the very good advantages over the fatty or cocoa butter. Why? Because it contains very beautiful advantages, like it not undergo the rancidity as the cocoa butter does. It is stable on the overheating, while the cocoa butter is not stable at the overheating. It resists to the oxidation and it has the water absorbing capacities which are very good. So therefore, for this method, we will prefer vegetable or hydrogenated oils more than the cocoa butter or tromba oil. So let's discuss the other slide. So the vegetable oil is not required any lubrication, and it is very colorless and odorless also, like cocoa butter, which has color of yellowish white and which has odor of chocolate like. So this vegetable oil has no odor and no color. Like coconut oil, it has odor but it is good in nature, while the palm kernel oil, it has no odor. And both of these oils are colorless, white in color, so therefore they are mostly used. Now the second classify of suppository base is the aqueous, hydrophilic or water soluble bases. They can also be called a hydrophilic bases. Two types: glycerine suppositories and polyethylene glycol. So let's discuss the glycerine suppositories first. So glycerine suppositories, actually they have two method of preparation. So on the base of method of preparation, they have two types further. So the first is this method to prepare. From this method we will add glycerine plus gelatin and water. So this suppositories is called as glycero gelatin suppositories. And one thing you have to mention, the solidifying agent is the gelatin. Okay, now the other method to prepare it is the glycerine, sodium stearate and water. Now we had instead of gelatin we have sodium stearate. Now by adding this, and sodium stearate is also a solidifying agent which add in it. So now by adding this, changing in the preparation, now it's become another kind of suppositories which is called as soap glycerine suppositories. Okay, so now let's discuss about their advantages. So they have a lot of advantages, like it dissolve in the secretion of body cavity. It doesn't melt In the previous types, we have discussed that suppository bases melt at our body temperature when they inserted in our body cavity. But now this glycerine suppositories, they don't melt, they dissolve in them because they are water soluble, so they will be easily soluble out in the water inside the body cavity. And they are hydroscopic, means they can absorb the moisture from the atmosphere, and they can also be used to treat the laxative they can also be used to treat the constipation as the laxatives do. So now let's discuss the second type of glycerine water soluble basis, which is the polyethylene glycol, can also be called as carbovaxis. So they are actually the polymer of ethylene oxide and the water. So let's discuss their advantages. So no damage to them, they have no deterioration, so this is very important advantage. They are inert, mean they are not reactive to anyone, and they have no toxic effect, no irritation. So this is its advantage, and it's need no lubrication because it also has a waxy nature, carbo waxes, so waxy nature, so therefore it don't need a lubricant. Let's discuss the third type of substitutory base, which is the miscellaneous bases.